Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are doing part 3 in my beginner series. And in this video, this is probably going to be like one of the ones the most people would want to watch, but I'm going to talk about like the unit makeup, like what actually makes up a unit. I'm going to talk about how to train and power up your units to max potential, and then I'm also going to do a little team building guide just in general as to how you should make your teams once you get more units and can properly build a team. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to this team tab, and I'm going to click on the word team in the upper left, and this is the team I currently have set up. This will be like if you're like the first day you start playing, your team will probably look something similar to this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into this SR Goku because this is one that everybody gets to start with, and I'm just going to kind of explain what a unit consists of. Okay, so in the upper left where it says SR, that's the rarity. So a unit rarity can be N for normal, R for rare, SR for super rare, SSR for super rare, UR for ultra rare, and then LR for legendary rare. So those are all the rarities in Dokkan Battle. Characters have three main stats. They have HP, attack, and defense. Attack and defense are fairly straightforward. The more attack, the harder you hit. The more defense, the less damage you take. The way HP works is when you build a team, it literally adds all the characters' HP together, and your entire team shares one HP pool based on all the combined HP of your characters on the team. Your characters will have a level. As their level goes up, their stats increase. And then underneath level, we see leader skill. So my character's leader skill says AGL, int, and physical type, key +1. So notice this Goku in the upper left, it has a blue AGL, so that is his typing. So what happens is if this Goku is my leader, all my AGL, int, and physical type units get an extra key on the team. Now, this is a very bad leader skill. This isn't a real leader skill you would want to run, but day one, this is maybe what you have to go with, right? What I'll do after I go through this Goku is I'll show you like a good leader just from my box so that you guys understand what type of leaders you should be looking for when you're building your final team. In the bottom left, it says super attack level 1 out of 10. So every character has a super attack level, and it can level up to 10. The way you level up super attack is you either have to combine dupes of the same character, like you have to train your character using copies of the same character, or you use something called an Elder Kai, or a Sleepy Kai, or a Grand Kai. And I'll talk about that when we go into the training portion. But you always, if it's a unit you're actually going to use, you always want to max out their super attack. Okay? Then it has a super attack effect. So here it says Kamehameha and causes huge damage to the enemy. So if you press and hold on it, it will tell you what the super attack effect does. The huge damage is what we call the damage multiplier. They can do huge, extreme, and supreme damage. Some might say mass damage. It could say colossal damage. It could say mega colossal damage. Basically, all those are multipliers. Immense damage is another one that is pretty common, right? You can click the details too, and it will show you like when they super attack. For the most part, characters need 12 key to super attack, but some can super attack with less key. Some get different effects based on how much key you have. So that's something to look out for there. Okay, on the next page, we have a passive skill. The passive skill is the most important part of a unit. It basically determines how good they are and what they do while you're playing. So his passive skill is attack plus 25% if key is 5 or more. So as long as this Goku collects 5 or more key, he gets a 25% attack boost when he's attacking. Now this character is a really bad character, so that's not a good passive skill, but I'm just explaining what it is. And like I said, we'll look at a good character later. Then what we have is his link set. So you'll see it says link skill, and he's got all of these links, and the links actually have levels on them. So the way the game works, linking is very important. And so let's look at this Z Fighters link right here. It'll give me a list of other characters that share the same link. So what happens is if Goku is next to another character that has this link, at the top it says the link skill effect is attack plus 15%. So if this Goku were next to like this Tien here, or if he was next to this Piccolo, he'd get an extra 15% attack. The goal of the game in good team building is you want to set up rotations where characters link well together so they get the maximum potential that they can have, and that you also use the proper amount of support units to help boost your team. So paying attention to the link skills is very important. As you level up the links, they will get stronger and their effects will get better. Link leveling is really important, but as a day one player, like if you're just starting the game today, Do not prioritize it. Your links will naturally level up as you use the characters. Basically, whenever you do quest mode or story mode and you're battling enemies, every battle that you encounter has a predetermined chance to level up certain link skills. The lower your links are leveled, the easier it will be to level up. As they get higher, it will be very difficult to level them up. So I would not prioritize link leveling right now. It's just going to happen naturally as you're playing the game, like I said. Okay? Then we have the categories. So the categories are basically like tags that attach the character to certain teams that they can be on. Modern leader skills, the good ones, will be attached to categories. So a leader skill might say Goku's family gets X amount of ki and X amount of attack, defense, and stuff like that, in HP. So you want to make sure you use characters on the same category that fit under that leader skill. Okay? If we click on the growth tab in the upper right, you can see that I can train the character and I can awaken the character. So if I go into training, you can see I can add training partners. So if I click on here, I could manually add characters that I want to train. Now you're going to notice here it's going to put some Gokus at the top, and then at the bottom it's going to have these Kais. So when you're training with other characters, you're mainly doing it to raise their super attack level. So they're kind of prioritizing which characters have super attack boost chance for this character. If you have the ability to farm the character out, you want to do that. So like for a Dokkan Fest or something you're summoning, you never want to use dupes of the same character to raise super attack. You want to use that for something else, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So for this Goku, you can see I have another one of these SR Gokus in my box, and it says 100%. So if I use that Goku, it's going to guarantee that I raise the super attack level. Now I've got this other Goku here that it's the same name, like his name is just Goku, but it's a different card. So any units in the game that have the same name as the unit you want to level up, even if they're a different card, you still have a chance to increase the super attack. So what would happen is this card at an SSR gives a 50% chance to level up the super attack. If I were to level up and awaken this guy to a UR, he would then have a 100% chance to increase the super attack level, even though he's a different card. So the way that you mainly want to do this is, let's say, well, there are stages in the game where you can get a base form Goku that is a different card. And what you'd want to do is you'd want to go into those stages and just farm a bunch of those up, and then you would want to level them up and then feed them into this Goku to raise a super attack, rather than summoning for more of the same Goku and trying to do it that way. Okay? Now, I'm talking about this in the perspective of a summonable unit, right? If it's a free-to-play unit, which the unit is already just farmable. So something I had suggested in one of my earlier videos is that you build up a Team Bardock team from the events tab. So what you want to do for those units is you just keep farming up until you have enough copies to raise the super attack level and do the hidden potential, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Now, let's say you summon a brand new Dokkan Fest unit and there's no way to farm the super attack. There's no free way to do it. Then what you want to do is you want to use Kais. So these purple Elder Kais are like the main thing you're looking for. You can obtain these very easily through missions. You can buy them in story event shops. You'll get them as login rewards. These Elder Kais have become very common. You can see in my box, I have 222 Elder Kais. So I could level up a lot of unit super attacks, because a base unit only needs super attack level 10, and it starts at level 1, so you only need 9 Kais to max out a unit. Okay? Now, EZA units go up to super attack level 15, and LRs go up to super attack level 20, so you'll need more Kais for those. You also occasionally will get something called a Grand Kai. This is the next step up from the Elder Kai. So that purple Elder Kai I showed here, this will raise the super attack level of any unit guaranteed. The Grand Kais will 100% raise the super attack level of a unit of the same typing. So you can see this Grand Kai only works for AGL units. So if I used it on this SR Goku, it would work. And then you get these Sleepy Kais. These Sleepy Kais are a lot more common. You'll get a lot of these, but they only have a 30% chance of working. So I typically try to use these. If I'm in the mode where I'm going to use Kais, I usually use up my Sleepy Kais first, because you get a lot of them. And any free super attack I can get from the 30% chance, I'll definitely take it. And then I use my 100% Kais afterwards. Okay, so that's basically how you raise super attack. And then when you train, you're mainly going to use training items, which is the bottom slot here. Now you can manually go in and like pick the items you want to use, But you do want to use training items of the same type, so you can collect training items of all the typings of characters. So this Goku, you'd want to use AGL. Once you collect enough items, for me as a veteran player, I just click this auto button, and it automatically puts in what I need, and it maxes out his level. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's say you train a character to max. You can just skip the animations if you want. You'll see all of his stats increased. He's now level 60, and it's going to prompt you to awaken. So I can click awaken, and now I use these awakening medals, and I can awaken him to an SSR. So I'll Z awaken. Okay, and now that he's an SSR, I can train him up. You can see he stayed at level 60, but now his max is 80. So I can auto in some more, and I can awaken him again. And now he's level 80. Now, since this is just like a common SR Goku, he doesn't go any higher than this. So if you're early on and you're not summoning for units, like you could just bring this guy to SSR like this, and it would probably be fine for just doing like normal, maybe even some of the hard stages in like the quest mode. But like I said, if you can, power up your team just enough to get by in like the Bardock quest and Ginyu quest, and then as you collect those Bardock and Ginyu members, start to just make a team. I would just focus on one, and my recommendation is Team Bardock. One, because they're newer, so the units are slightly better, and two, there's a way to farm equips for them, which is really, really good, and we'll talk about equips in a little bit here. So yeah, that would be my goal, and that's how you do the basic training. Now, let me just show you what like a modern like good leader skill unit would look like. So we'll look at this AGL Gohan. He's pretty popular. A lot of people have him, right? So this is the type of leader skill you're looking for. So his leader skill is Kamehameha category, 3 key, HP 130%, and attack and defense 170%. Or for just super AGL types, he does a key 3 and 120% attack boost. Okay? So what my recommendation to you is, if you're playing before the 6-year anniversary, get by with that free-to-play Bardock team first and build that up. And then when the 6th anniversary comes, there's going to be tons of units on those banners that all have good leader skills. Use those units to start building teams, and then slowly power them up, and you're going to very quickly be able to defeat way more difficult content. And then once you slowly get them powered up, you're going to start to be able to Dokkan Awaken them. They're going to get even stronger. And then once you fully max out a team, so from the 6-year anniversary, you're going to be able to get like a Universe Survival Saga or a Reps of Universe 7 team. That team is literally like one of the best teams in the game, and it's comprised mainly of units from the new anniversary, and there's a couple like really good free-to-play ones you can farm up. So me, being rank 695, been playing the game for like 6 years, right? You as a day one player, if you do things right, you save up and build up a lot of stones before the anniversary, and then go in and summon like crazy on those banners. By the time you're done with it all, it'll take you more time because you don't have a ton of awakening medals and Zenny. Like, you're going to have to spend a lot of time grinding that stuff. But by the time you're done, you could have a team that can compete with any team I can make in the game, and you can complete any content with that team, provided they're not locked out of an event due to a restriction, right? So that's really what your goal is save up everything and build up towards the anniversary, right? All right, so back to the units. I'm going to talk about the more advanced way that you max out a unit, okay? So if we go into, if I go into my team tab here, and then we'll do a quick little team building guide. So if I go into character list, the way you max out a unit is you want to get that rainbow star next to their rarity. The way you get the rainbow star is this. The first thing you do is you keep training them and awakening them until they can't awaken anymore. So if it's an LR, their max level will be 150. If it's like a Dokkan Fest exclusive like TUR card, so let me just find one here. I got to go a little bit lower. So like this Gogeta. Nope, sorry. Let me look at something else that isn't an EZA unit. Hold up. There's got to be one here somewhere. Let me just go down like way down here. Okay, so like, nope, he's an EZA unit. Someone who is not an EZA. Okay, this Frieza. Oh, where'd he go? I'm going to find him again. Frieza. He is not an EZA. This guy right here. Okay, so like when you summon on a new banner, and like a basic Dokkan Fest TUR will look like this. They'll be ultra rare, and they can go up to level 120. And then some units will EZA. And that means an Extreme Z Awaken. So basically it's like an already maxed out unit that they made like an extension. It's kind of like a way that they made adjustments to older characters to make them better. They can go up to level 140. And then LRs go up to level 150. Okay, so that's the first thing, is get the card to the highest rarity that it's allowed to go. And if you're not sure how high a rarity can go, what you can do is you do this here. Let me close this, and let's look at this Gohan. So if you hold on a character and you go into this screen, you click growth here, and you can see it shows how high the character can go. So you pull it at an SSR, it goes to UR, then it goes to Transcended Ultra Rare, which still says UR, and then it goes to LR. So when you get a unit, that's how you can find out. Then what you need to do to continue maxing it out is you can click the Growth tab, and you go to Hidden Potential. Now what happens here in Hidden Potential is you have all these nodes that you want to awaken, and you want to, basically it adds stats to the character, and you can actually add skills to them. So there's like this combo attack one, and there's this critical hit. So combo attack basically gives your character a chance to do an additional attack, and it has a chance to be another super attack. Critical attack basically does a critical hit, which will do more damage, and it resists type disadvantage. So something I haven't really talked about yet in my beginner guide is when characters have typings, some types are better against others. So for example, Tech type, which is the green one, is strong against AGL. So if a Tech character hit my Gohan, I would take more damage. Likewise, if my Gohan attacked a Tech unit, I would do less damage because I have type disadvantage. However, if I get a critical hit, I will actually do max damage. It ignores the typing basically. So that's why crits can be important there. Okay. So crit and combo attack are the main thing you're going to want to go for most characters. You also have evasion, which is a dodge chance. So a chance to actually dodge an attack and not get hit. The way that these numbers work is when my combo attack is at level 23, basically if you double that, that's the percent chance he has to do it. So a 23 combo attack, he has a 46% chance to do an additional attack. For critical hit at 11, that would be a 22% chance to do a crit. The exception to that would be dodge. If dodge is level 5, then he only has a 5% chance to dodge. Dodge does not double up because they don't want you to be able to dodge too much, because as we've seen with some other units in the game, when you can dodge a lot, the unit becomes really broken. Okay, I'll explain what these other symbols are in the hidden potential. This here is type attack boost. So if you're attacking with type advantage, you do more damage. So Tech, or this AGL Gohan, AGL does more damage against strength, which is the red units. So if Gohan attacks a red unit, this would increase the damage he would already be doing. Okay. This is type defense boost, which means if you're defending with type advantage, you take less damage. So if Gohan is defending against a red unit or STR unit, he'll take less damage. And then this symbol is super attack boost. It just does more damage on super attack. So this is the one I would choose this one over like the type defense or the type attack if you have a choice, because super attack is something all your characters will do. And so what will happen is on some of the nodes, you'll get a choice between type attack boost and super attack. When you get that choice, I usually would pick super attack. The only exception is there's some characters who have an effect that makes all of their attacks super effective against all types no matter what. Then you might want to go type attack boost. And then there'll be defensive nodes that will have this one where you guard if you have type advantage, or this one, which is where you recover more hit points when you collect the same color orb. So something I haven't mentioned yet is when you're in a battle and you're collecting the key orbs, when you collect orbs of the same color as the character, you heal hit points based on what your defensive stat is. And this node increases the amount of hit points you get. So for the most part, I usually pick this one, because whether you have type advantage or not, you're going to be able to activate this. The exception is I would choose this one if you have a character that guards all attacks, and there are some characters that do that. Okay. For you as a super beginner player, don't stress too much about this. Just kind of go with your gut. And then as you grow and learn with the game and get more resources, these can actually be altered and changed later on. Maybe experiment with like free-to-play units because it's really easy to change and farm those up. Or you could very easily look up a guide on a specific unit or a showcase on a specific unit. And a lot of the YouTubers, like I myself do it, I go over like what type of equips to use on the character, okay? And what type of like potential to put into the character. So basically you just click on these little nodes. So let me go into a character that I haven't done potential on yet so you can see what a blank character would look like. So let's look at this Pycon. Yep, I haven't touched this Pycon yet. Okay, so what you're going to notice in the upper right, there are these 4 little locked circles up here. The way you unlock those and get access to everything is to get more dupes of the character. So this is the main thing you want to use extra copies of the character. So when I go on this map, if I click these nodes, whoops, let me click a node I can actually go into. So if you click these, you'll see it'll start to fill up and add up, but it uses these potential orbs down here at the bottom. Potential orbs are a really scarce resource. There is a daily quest that you want to do every day. So your day 1 starting team will not actually be able to defeat that quest. So as soon as possible, try to build up like a little Bardock team or build up SSRs to URs and maybe try to skate by with a friend unit. But as soon as you start doing potential orb stages, you want to do it, and you want to build up as quick as possible because these orbs are so important. So basically, using the orbs, you fill out these nodes, it increases the stats, you gain like these little abilities I just talked about through that potential system. Now there'll be a few things that are locked in here. So you can see like this little node here is locked, so I can't access this stuff here in the upper right until I get rid of this node. The only way to do it is to have another copy of the PyCon that I can feed in and open that up. So through this menu, that's where you would use your dupe. So basically, you need 5 copies of a unit to max them out. You have 1 for the base unit, and then you have 4 more to get all 4 of these corners unlocked. Then, once you have those 4 corners unlocked, you just use your normal potential orbs and unlock all the nodes. Once you do that and you click activate, the percentage in the upper left where it says 14% activation for me, if you actually select all the nodes, that will go to 100, and then the unit will get rainbowed, and then that's like the rainbowed unit. So then your character is basically maxed out unless they have an EZA, which is another step you'll have to do. I'll probably talk about that in my event tab video where I go through all the event tabs. I think that'll be the next video that I do. Then you have something here called Skill Orb. For Skill Orb, you have bronze, silver, and a gold slot. The silver is the middle slot and the gold slot is on the right, and those will be locked right away. Basically, through these, you can add hit points, defense, attack. You can add combo attack, crit, dodge. You can add like the type attack, type defense, pretty much all of the symbols you see at the top, you can add onto those through this system. I wouldn't worry right now as a beginning player is what you want to do. In general, for like offensive units, you want to either give them attack, crit, or combo attack. Those are the main things you want to do. So try to hold on to those. As an early player, you won't even have like equips to put on them yet, so I wouldn't really worry about that right now. But this is another place where you can make your character stronger. To open up the silver slot here, you basically have to get them to super attack level 10. And then to open up the last slot, you have to have at least 2 dupe zones unlocked. So you'd have to get at least 2 corners unlocked. Now the general rule is this. The first dupe you get in a character, you need to do the lower right slot, the lower right corner. Because this corner has all of the extra combo and critical attack nodes that you can get, and it has the highest attack and defense boost and like just general stat boost. So always do the bottom right corner first. Then you do the upper left corner second, because that's the other place where you get combo and critical attack, because those are the main things you want. And then I usually do the upper right, because that's more offensively based for stats and you get super attack. And then I do the bottom left last, which is like your defensive nodes. So that's the order you want to do your nodes. Bottom right, top left, top right, and then bottom left. Okay? So that's basically how you completely max out a unit. Then what I'm going to do really quick, and I know the video is getting long, probably longer than my other two, but I'm going to just go into a team building guide and show you how to build a basic team and understand how that works, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the team tab. I'm going to click change all. And let's say you get to the point that you start getting units, right? So let's say you get lucky and you get like this Gohan or something like that. You'll see his leader skill is Kamehameha category. So what I want to try to do is build out the team with all Kamehameha units. So what I'm going to do is the unit who's going to be your leader, you have to pick first, because then the leader skill will activate. Every unit on your team has a leader skill, but their leader skills do not activate unless they are the first unit you pick. So you want to pick your leader first. Now for the rest of the team, I want to try to get Kamehameha units. If I click on this yellow attack button in the bottom right, I get a thing where I can filter my units. So I can go to select category, and then I can find Kamehameha. So I'm going to find the Kamehameha category right here. Click OK, and then I'm going to go again. Now my box is filtered with only Kamehameha units. Now obviously starting off, you're not going to have all of these units, right? So for team building, what you want to try to do is find units that link well together. You won't have as many choices early on, but let's pretend you get to the point where you've summoned on a 6-year anniversary, you're finding that you have more units, then you can start to think about it a little bit. So without going in, so like I could click and hold on a unit and I could look at their links and then I could go back and forth and try to compare, right? The general rule is the more similar the characters are, the more likely they are to link. So if you have like a Goku that has a different name than your Goku and they link together, they're probably going to link really well. So for example, this Gohan is just a Super Saiyan 1 Gohan. This Gohan is a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. The forms are very close and the character is very similar. So they're going to link really well together. So I might put that Gohan and have those linked together, and that might be like an attacking rotation. Then maybe I have this Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And then maybe I find a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So let me just type in Vegeta really quick. Oh no, it has to be Kamehameha. Never mind. So let me just look up another Goku that maybe is a super. So this guy here, this is another Super Saiyan Blue Goku, but he's Kaioken. So maybe this Blue Goku and this Kaioken, they might link okay together. That's just without me even looking at their links. So this is for you as a new player. Just find characters that are kind of similar. Then what I like to do in the last 2 spots is, if I have them, put support units. So if you have a unit that says like gives key and attack and defense to the whole rotation, you kind of want to put those units there. Now you might not be able to be that choosy, but you can go ahead and pick what you want. So I know this is a farmable free-to-play unit here, and he gives Goku's family 2 key and attack and defense 30%. So I'm going to put him on, because all of my units right now are also Goku's family. So that's the other reason categories come into play, is some units might support them. Now let's say, since you're a newer player, right? Let me remove the filters. Let's say you don't have enough Kamehameha units to fill out the team. Then we'll use a secondary leader skill, which says Super AGL gets 3 key and attack and defense 120, which isn't bad. So I can go back into my filter, and instead of category, I can just go Super AGL. One thing I should say, I didn't mention this yet, but units will either be considered super class or extreme class. Super class basically are good guys, and extreme class are bad guys. So like Goku is a super class character, and like Cell and Frieza are extreme class. It literally just separates like the evil units and like the good units. It doesn't mean you can't use them together on teams. There are just some things that'll specify super or extreme, and you just need to be aware of that, okay? So Super AGL. And so let's say I've got a unit that's not a Kamehameha unit. And I want to take off Goku. So let's say I have this Tien and Chotsu, right? I could put them on the team even though they're not Kamehameha. They just get less of a leader skill from that Gohan. So that's, in a nutshell, that's basically how you build a team. Try to find units that link together that you can put together while you play. Try to get support units if you can. Make sure you have a good leader skill set in slot 1, and then just make sure your whole team fits into that leader skill. All right, I've rambled on long enough. I think that'll do it here for part 3. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.